If you think of an animated film as being made up of a series of scenes, and each scene is made up of a number of shots or camera angles, and each of those shots needs a background, you could very quickly start to feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of backgrounds that you need to produce. Well, in this tutorial, I'm going to explain how you can creatively and very efficiently solve this tricky problem of what seems to be a gigantic workload. It comes down to identifying your key locations. A key location is a background that represents the widest possible view of the area that the sequence takes place in. Let's use this interior shot of this industrial-sized science experiment as an example. Say we had a whole sequence of our film that took place here. On the storyboard, there are, for example, shots of the scientist checking his lab notes and writing stuff down on his clipboard. There's cutaway shots of bits of equipment, say a tracking shot of the chemical processes that are taking place. And then there's an extreme close-up of the scientist realizing that he's made an error in his measurements. While the background supervisor or the lead BG artist would likely create a large background of this whole scene, just like what I've got here. It's kind of like an overview. In fact, it's very much in the same vein as a wide-angle shot that I described in an earlier tutorial, but you would create this background even if you didn't have a wide-angle shot in your shot order on the storyboard. This key location will set out everything in a scene in a general sense. Then, as a background artist, you'd use this key to generate all the other shots. So at the very least, you could use this key to reference any new background, and in some cases, you wouldn't need to redraw anything at all. You could just cut into a section of this one key. This key is used by lots of people in the production, not just the background team. It's often called a color key, and as such, it helps the director and the art director to visualize the film's overall look, because when viewed with all the other color keys in the movie, they can quickly get a sense of the mood and the feel of each sequence. Defining the mood and the feel of a movie, or of a sequence in a movie, is a part of the filmmaker's visual language, and in the next set of tutorials, I'm going to look at how visual language will affect the way you approach creating your backgrounds.